Hey guys, remember Matthew chapter 11, verse 28, where Jesus said, "Come to me, all you who are weary and heavy laden, and I will give you rest." Rest is an interesting thing. In Mark chapter 6, verse 31, the disciples were getting fatigued, and he said to them, "Come away by yourselves to a secluded place and rest a while." For there were many people coming and going, and they did not even have time to eat. Now, I've noticed that one of the things that happens to me when I get busy is I suppress my appetite. Some people comfort eat or emotion eat, so it could go either way. But in this case, they were too busy to even just sit down for a moment. And remember, in Revelation 3, Jesus is speaking to the church at Laodicea, and he says, "Behold, I stand at the door and knock. If anyone hears my words or my voice and opens the door, I will come into him and will dine with him, and he with me." And that's not like a bag from the corner fast food restaurant. This is ancient Israel. This is the Mediterranean diet and its approach. And the word for dine is daifon, and it means the main meal of the day served at home, sit down, relaxed, restful fellowship time. Jesus wants to sit with us and linger long at the table. Remember, he prepares a table for us in the presence of our enemies. He supplies, he provides, he's present there to care for us. He said, "I'll never leave you nor forsake you." He said, "I am the same yesterday, today, and forever." And that is so stabilizing. And I think about, I collected a lot of books in my earlier years when I would go over to England and Wales, and I'd go to the bookstores and I'd find books for just such a good value, and they were printed from, a long time ago. And I found a devotional, and it was called "Come Ye Apart." And it's from this verse, "Come aside by yourselves and rest a while." In the King James, Mark chapter 6, verse 31 says, "Come ye apart." And I thought, in modern thought, come ye apart before you come ye apart, before. And I'm thinking about young moms right now, because I'm at the stage where my kids are having kids, and it's reminding me of how busy we got as young moms and dads, and how they're, having to do a lot of things every day all at once, especially with the dependence of their children. They're having to really watch them and tend to them. And the disciples were very focused on following in the patterns of Jesus to serve. But even in the midst of your service, your parenthood, mother, father, your workload, Jesus wants us to learn how to rest. And I remember a book I read in the early 80s. I don't remember the name of the author or the name of the book, but his point was to have a balanced life with worship, work, rest, and play. And we're to worship the Lord with all of our heart, love the Lord with all of our heart, soul, mind, and strength, focus on him, gaze at him, pay attention to him, put him foremost every day. We're to work heartily unto the Lord. There's a work ethic that comes out of the Judeo-Christian model that, and in America, the value of hard work and the potential for it, the purpose for it. With God, he said to lead a quiet life and work with your own hands. There's something really, whenever I'm cleaning the kitchen, taking out the trash, I've got a variety of duties in my life, but I feel the value on those things. They're not menial, they're not tedious, they're not nothing. If you don't do it, things get out of hand. So these things are important. If you don't change a baby's diaper, they'll get a rash. If you don't discipline your child, then they can go wayward. So all of these things, really going to work, earning pay. I remember when I started Bible school, I think the minimum wage was like $1.25 an hour or something like that. And then, or $2 maybe, I don't remember, in the late 70s, mid to late 70s. But there was a store that in order to prevent them from unionizing, they just said, look, we'll treat you great. We just rather not have you unionize. So in their case, they were giving good benefits and time off and paid time off and that for, maternity leave and that sort of thing. We got $4.25 an hour. And my wife and I both worked. She worked at one store, I worked at another. They had a policy that you couldn't work in the same store as a married couple. So she was around the corner, down the street, several blocks away. And on holidays, we would get double pay. And if it was Sunday, we'd get triple pay. So we worked hard, and there was a layoff, and a lot of people were let go. And I'm grateful that they kept me on, because my wife was pregnant, had a baby, and then she had the maternity leave. So she was out for months. So yet God covered all of it. And we could rest in the assurance that, like it says in Psalm 23, he makes me lie down in green pastures. And I pray today for those of us that get overly wound up like the disciples, that you come ye apart before you come ye apart, that you figure out a time to just turn off the TV, turn off your phone, go get a cup of coffee or tea or water or whatever. Just find a place to sit. There's no possibility of intrusion, and just have 10 or 15 minutes or 20 or 30. You just spend some time just thinking and praying, maybe write some things down. Don't get stressed out. Cast your burdens on the Lord, and he has, he can, he does, and he will always sustain you. God bless you.